Ahoy hoy! I am Planner Walk, and welcome to another stream. Let me just switch over here. How is it going, everyone? I think we're live, by the way. Yeah, it looks like we're live. If anyone recognised the song that I just played there, you are now my best friend. Anyway. Let's see what people are saying in chat. We've got Tim Tully saying ahoy hoy. We've got the Oneson saying, why does Riley pose as if he's thinking? He is clearly not. I know for sure. Okay, I'll play that again. And we've got Paul's Heart Attack saying nice echo. I just realised something. My bad. Let me fix this. Filters, reverb. We can... There we go. That should be better. Yeah, yeah, that should be better. I forgot that I had a plugin to give myself reverb. Anyway, yeah, that was due to the last stream that I did. I had a reverb on my mic because if you're singing, you want to have reverb, right? That's just a general thing that you know when you get into audio production stuff. Anyway, so people are saying, is this about Riley wanna flat smacking children? Yeah, that's part of what it's about. That's what we're going to get into second. The first thing that we're going to get into is going to be this thing which I'm fairly certain this is a hate crime. Let's get right into it. Where is it? There we go. Let's go to... Let's go... There we go. So, this thing here, like, to me, this looks like a hate crime. And some people may disagree, but, like, let's take a look. Right, this, we can also take a look and see that this person has actually been charged on assault. Here we go, here's the article. Your boy charged an assault on student draped in gay pride flag. Goddamn ads. Yeah, Georgia teenager faces juvenile charges after he attacked a student who was draped in a gay pride flag in a school cafeteria, authorities say. Video of the incident was recorded last week at Lowndes High School in the South Georgia city of Valdosta. It shows a male student charging across the cafeteria and jerking the flag from the second boy's back as he falls to the floor. A third student tries to push away the attacker, who slams the flag into a garbage can. So Lunson says, at least assault, yes. Is hate crime harder punished than assault? I think it's, Yeah, I think it is harder punished than assault. Generally, hate crimes are the reason why they're charged harder, I think, is due to it being motivated by hatred. So it would be like if you shoot someone, right, that's bad. But if you shoot someone because of like the color of their skin or because of their identity, that's even worse. But here's the thing. There's something even worse about this. This was done for $5. Wait, hold on. I'm not sure. Here we go. More replies. Where is it? This was... Oh, this might be the thing. Yeah, I've seen this thing which says that apparently they did it for $5. How mentally deficient do you have to be to even consider like doing something for $5, like something like this for $5, right? That is not an excuse. I actually think that he's just using the $5 as an excuse to be like, yeah, it's not as bad. I did it for the money. Like, do you think that you're not going to do some? Do you think that you're not going to get charged or get away with something like that? No. If you do what that kid did, there are going to be negative consequences, obviously. Yeah, I can't find the thing. I've seen a few things that have said that it's... Yeah, this person here says, turns out it was a deer for $5, so wrong. It's like, even if he did it for a deer, like, even if he was that brain dead, that he did it for a deer for $5, that's still, like, how do you... Who needs money that bad that you would commit a hate crime for $5, right? I wouldn't even commit a hate crime for like $100. He may be using it to avoid hate crime punishment edition. Yeah, but I think that there is an underlying thing of... I think that there's an underlying thing of to do something like, to even do this for money, you need to have some... I don't think that you'd have... Like, if you did something... Like, if you shot someone for $5, right? There's probably something there other than, oh, I just needed the money. Yeah, but honestly, this is crazy. Trevor Heath said, Southern people are also the most racist, aren't they? Georgia State. Maybe it's one of them things where I don't like to generalize. Like, I know someone from Georgia, in fact. I showed them this, and they're like, "Oh, geez, this is my state of Georgia." But yeah, it's... Yeah, so... That guy there is a dumb fuck. Anyway, let's go on to another... Let's talk about another dumb fuck. Alright, let me go to... Let me open up Google Drive for a second here. Yeah. Okay. Let me switch back to the... Oh, jeez. Why do I have so many tabs open? Why did I think that would be a good idea? Alright, let's open up this text document. Okay, so there's this video here made by Flatzoid FE called Convert Today. You know, this was 10th of September, so it wasn't really that long ago when you think about it. Anyway, we've got this person here called Rune Thorson, who says, "I don't even know a single person who changed their mind after Shane revealed his true colours. I don't even know who Shane is. Okay. So, you got Sleeping Warrior that says, I don't believe they are his true colours. He simply sold out. He'll tell them gravity is a force if they pay him. And so Fred Dibb says, so you don't see the viewing figures going down on the Flirt conspiracy videos? The flatulence leaving your sinking ship are not going to advertise the fact that they and a face pack of cornered rats. It's not difficult. They're not going to advertise the fact, are they? Yeah, and Fred Dibb is right. Like, flat earthers are getting less views and all that, and it's because there's a lot of flat earthers that don't advertise the fact that they're not flat earthers anymore. There's this myth that flat earthers push that once you go flat, you never go back, which is just not true. I mean, Ranty is a clear example of someone that decided to, go back to believing that the Earth is a globe. Anyway, Sleeping Warrior responds with, I see them going down on YouTube, yes. TikTok is where it's at now. Lots of children on there we are targeting. Yikes! Who thought... Sleeping Warrior, how do you think that this sentence here was in any way a good sentence to say? And you got people saying, seriously, that's a weird thing to say, targeting children. That's a little sus, don't you think? It's more than a little sus. And then you got Sleeping Warrior saying, no more sus than locking them in safe premises while they're brain fed. I mean, I'm pretty sure parents know what their children are being taught. We know that they are fed gravity as a force when it isn't. We know they are told that gravity isn't a force. We know they are not told about Einstein. We know they are not told that this is contentious. We know they are told that there are better scientific explanations instead of gravity. We know they're not told that they're better. It's like, that's still, like, saying that you're targeting children, Riley, is still bad. Like, you can... Like, he talks about schools, right? And it's like, parents, when they... Okay, sometimes there can be bad things that happen in schools. And when bad things happen in schools, what happens is the teacher is fired. That's what happens when something bad happens in schools. The teachers get fired. Well, if they're found out, obviously. But, so for the most part, teachers seem to do all right, you know. And, you know, parents can say, okay, well, you know, I want to teach my child this when they get home. That's their right. But when a child goes online, right, and when a child goes online and then has somebody messaging them saying, oh yeah, you can trust me, I'm Anthony Riley, the earth is flat. That is completely different, right? Especially when you're targeting children. But yeah. And then, yeah, Mr. Victory's radio says, well, all that BS and you still don't get what targeting children implies. Are you really that dense about your words? I guess you're not a parent. All you wrote is not credible. A normal guy doesn't use targeting. Your own words showed your true colours, your mindset and behaviour. What you said was simply cultish. Like, here's the thing. Imagine, okay, here's a good way of putting it. Imagine a Jehovah's Witness, right, going to your child's school and telling them all about the Jehovah's Witnesses and trying to get them to believe in Jehovah's Witness bullshit, right? That'd be like what Sleeping Warrior's doing here, right? Especially seeing as children are impressionable. They are susceptible to being told, oh yeah, this thing is, because they haven't developed the mental, the critical thinking skills to know how to deal with misinformation they are told, right? So, yeah, Anthony Riley is... Now, there are two things. I don't know whether it's I don't know whether it's something that Riley has thought about doing how do I put this? I don't know if it's a calculated move by Riley knowing that children lack critical thinking skills, or I don't know if it's him just being an idiot. Right? Both are possible. Right? It's like, yeah, Riley is a dumb fuck. Like, the fact that he said this, he is definitely a dumb fuck. But it's not a secret that children are rather impressionable. I've got another link here, which is to another comment, by the way. Zeo Gold says, are you just starting to talk about Sleeping Warrior? Yes, we are. This is... And also, I'd say that this is probably worse than what Nathan Thompson did. At least Nathan Thompson was... Like, with Nathan Thompson, he was just handing out flyers and shouting at them, right? With the Riley, he's actually lying about his age. Oh, this is the other comment. There's. Hold on, let me try and find the thing. Oh, you've got this thing. Trying to find the particular thing that Anthony Riley YouTube files. This is another comment. Oh geez, yeah, this is a. Let me go to the other thing that I was sent by Scythe. Open original. Alrighty. Here we go. Sleeping Warrior saying, I've been targeting the kids for years. If you think that sounds dodgy, it suggests more about you than it does me, mate. There is no context in which that statement is okay, Riley. There is none. Like, even if you're a Jehovah's Witness, that statement is still not okay. He continues to say, best thing is, we are on there and applying the troll tactics learned on YouTube. We act as children and talk about how our teacher was cornered when we asked him these questions. I'm sorry? I didn't realize that it was okay to pretend to be a children in order to gain the trust of other children. I wouldn't say other children, but children. I mean, he's got the mentality of a 5-year-old. I'll give him that, but... But he continues to say, you scummy trolls will never be able to find us. It's beautiful. When the time comes, you'll realize it's us. But right now, just know that we are all over TikTok and telling the kids how Newton is not science anymore. That Einstein is in both a false dichotomy and correlative only. The egg test is getting around and the kids get it instantly. Yeah, this is the same tech. Like, can you imagine, like, a pedophile saying that... Can you imagine, like, a pedophile going onto TikTok and saying, oh, yeah, we act as children. You'd be... like, people would immediately be like, yeah, that's bad. Like, no matter what the person's intentions are. Like, even if they say, oh, well, you know, I'm just wanting to tell them that I just want to tell the kids that it's okay to be you. It's like, or something like that. It's like, yeah, like don't pretend to be a kid to do to like A, don't pretend to be a kid, and B, don't target kids. Like. And Tim Tully says, the difference is Jehovah's Witnesses believe in their bullshit. Riley is just a con man. Yeah, I honestly don't care whether Riley believes in his bullshit or not. This is just bad, regardless of whether he believes it or not. And IMD Fox says, not even in as a marketing person for a toy company, targeting kids is not a thing. Yeah, I mean, one of the things there is like you see adults buying children's toys. Actually, there are laws. I just remembered there are laws against like advertising targeting kids, right? Well, like, remember the whole, like, when I was creating this stream, I had to say, this stream is not made for kids. I had to specifically say that. Wonder how many of Riley's things Riley. I wonder how many of Riley's videos have the made for kids thing set on it, right? We can go over and check. Sleeping Warrior. This is the real Sleeping Warrior, by the way. Okay, let's see if this is made for kids. Oh. No, oh, this comments are enabled, not made for kids. Oh, not made for kids either. Oh, not made for kids. Imagine my shock. Is this made for kids? Comments are turned off. But it has nothing to do with... I mean, this could be, maybe? Or maybe he's just too much of a pussy to handle criticism. Comments are turned off on this one. Okay, maybe he set them as made for kids. His last three definitely weren't, though. But yeah. It'd be interesting to know if any of his things are actually set to made for kids. The question is, do things get worse than that? Oh yeah, this is the same things that we've already seen. So yeah, this is pretty bad. This is like, remember when everyone was criticizing Nathan Thompson for this, right? Like, people weren't just criticizing Nathan Thompson because they don't like Nathan Thompson. They were criticizing him because doing something like this, like trying to target kids, is bad. Right? Especially, like, it's even worse when you act as children and pretend to be children. Right? Like, and Randy mentioned how, like, what Sleeping Warrior is likely to do is to continue messaging. Check a man like me's channel. All but one IFE vid is made for kids. Okay, let me have a look. Man like me. Oh, didn't want to play that. Hopefully I didn't click on the one video that wasn't made for kids. Oh yeah, it says you try YouTube Kids right here when it's made for kids. So yeah, Riley's is definitely not made for kids. he's just too much of a pussy to enable comments. Oh, that's great. Riley has his... I mean, I suppose he fits a bit into that child mindset, right? Where he's... although, to be fair, like, even some kids can handle criticism better than Riley. IMD Fox says, are you surprised though? This same guy calls a teacher a pedo. Oh yeah, that's right! Didn't Riley call Conspiracy Cats a pedo? Huh. I'd almost forgotten about that. How ironic is that? How so fucking ironic. Jesus Christ, Riley. But yeah, like, there was a thing. So, apparently a man like me has also got things as sing. So you got people justifying this, so let me... Hopefully this works. Please work. Okay, cool, it works. So you got people trying to justify what Riley is doing. Hopefully this loads. Please load. You've loaded on Google. Do I have to? Bugger. Okay, let's just bring this over here then. You got a man like me saying, the more I think about it, the problem with Sleeping Warriors tactic is that it appears to be sleazy. It's a tactic I wouldn't use my... Okay, it's a tactic that you wouldn't use yourself. Okay, I believe you. Come on. As long as Sleeping Warrior isn't talking about sex in any way, or supposing an identity change, or gambling, or drugs, or however many negative things are out there in the world. So as long as he's only saying things that you agree with, got it. Matt Bryce says, I checked the page source on Sleeping Warriors videos, and yes, those are videos I tagged as made for kids. Oh, why didn't it say try YouTube Kids then? That's kind of odd. It's just another story to a child, but I have my reservations about it. A parent's permission is important at certain ages. I've told my child, and I've told every child in my life the earth is flat, but I didn't pose as a child while doing it either. It's the posing as a child I guess I'm having an issue with. But I think that's... But I still think... What? You think that's... You have an issue with it, but you think it's brilliant? Jesus Christ. The doublethink is really on display here. Jesus. Oh, this is the... this is the thing that says... I like how he's got a vertical monitor here. I know this because I've got a vertical monitor over there. And this says that his video is made for kids. This says that it's made for kids. Oh yeah, it says... Is there anything else that we need to look at on here? Loki Fish, Mars, you're in the chat. You can tell me if there's anything I need... Anything else that is important in here that I need to say. Yeah, like, this is... Like, no matter which way you try and spin this is just bad. Like, if I were a flat earther, I would be trying to distance myself from Anthony Riley at this point. Right. What Anthony Riley is doing here is objectively bad. Like, can you imagine if like a globe earther was doing this? Especially if it was to flat earth kids, right? That would immediately be, like, if, like, I don't know, like, who's a globe earther that I have issues with? I don't... Okay, let's say that... I don't want to mention that person. Why is that... Okay, Kyle Curtis. Let's say that Kyle Curtis was doing stuff like this. Right? Okay, I'm already distanced from Kyle Curtis. Okay, who's someone that I agree with that? Who's someone that I generally don't have much of an issue with? Like, let's say that Fight the Flat Earth did something like this. Not saying that he would, right? Just let's say that he did. I'd immediately be distancing myself from Fight the Flat Earth, right? I would immediately be distancing myself if he did the same tactics that Riley did. I'd be like, yeah, this is something that Fight the Flat Earth shouldn't do. Fortunately, he doesn't seem to be doing that because it seems that most globe earthers have at least a slight amount of decency. And I would imagine that a lot of people, if Fight the Flat Earth were to do this, would immediately try and distance themselves from him. And Professor says he will use the same excuse he will use the excuse that Globers do this in schools, but it is being deceptive. Yeah, like, in schools, it's specifically there to try and teach kids, you know, the knowledge that they'll need, right? Tim Brown says religions and Sunday schools are just as bad. I'd say that with Sunday schools, right? I don't like Sunday schools, but at least there the parents know what they are getting their kids into. I have a flat hardened chat. Where do we? RH. Yeah, in schools, kids learn what their parents approve, right? Like, sure, there are times when parents may not like what kids are being taught in schools, right? I know that my mum hasn't liked things that my sister was taught in school at a rather young age. Basically, the schools were trying to teach I'm trying to remember what it was called. Basically trying to teach kids, okay, this kind of situation here is bad. It was like some kind of safety thing. And it was about basically trying... The way that I see it was about trying to get kids to recognize when they are being abused, right? Which I mean, my mum disagreed with it, right? And one of the things that she was, don't know if she was able to do that, but I think she was able to go to school and say, hey, look, I don't know if it's a good idea to teach kids this. Toji Resume says, Sunday schools, at least in the UK, are mainly daycare while the parents are in church. Yeah. I remember going to... I remember going to church one time. When I was young, my mum wasn't religious at all. Neither was my stepdad. But... I was more religious than both of them, and essentially I went to church with a friend, right? And I think they had like this... I think my friend's mum worked at the church or something. Can't fully remember. Maybe. Very, very hard for me to remember if they did. Anyway, what happened is we watched the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. Fun times. And Tim Brown says, in recent years, hundreds of churches have been sued as a result of the sexual molestation of minors by church workers on church property or during church activities. Yeah, and that's bad. Like, any kind of thing that happens like that is bad. And Brassman says there are protests in the US for pretty much every dumb thing you can imagine. That's not really a valid argument for anything. I don't know what that's in reference to. And Charlie Welch says, as an American, I can confirm that this is ground zero for crazy. Yeah. He was referring to you. The ones... there are protests in the US to not teach evolution in school, so argument debunked. Oh yeah, I suppose there are, like... You know, some people may disagree. Hey, look, I don't agree that you're teaching this in school. I think that it's a good thing to teach. I think that it's okay for the state to say, hey, look, this is something that is going to be... This is good to teach in school. Obviously, there are exceptions to this, like... But I think that if everyone agrees, hey, look, we should teach kids this in school, then I think that's a good thing. Like, it'd be like, I think that it's okay to teach kids that murder is wrong in school. Like, clear example that most people can agree with. There'll be parents that disagree with this. Say, hey, look, murder is okay if you're protecting your property or some stupid shit like this. And the parents, they have the right. They have the right to try and teach their kids. Okay, maybe to teach their kids the controversy, I guess, right? Obviously there are some... This is actually a very interesting argument when it gets down to it. Like, how much right do parents have over what their kids are taught? Because, like, or the life of their kids, because, like, generally when it comes to parents and their kids, like, well, I think that one of the interesting things that a lot of people try and do is they say, oh, the life of the kids is completely up to the parents, but, like, parents have to take, like, decent care of the kids, right? But I think that it's okay enough for parents to try and teach kids, like, if the parents are Christians, I think that there is at least some justification for them to teach their kids about things like God, right? I'm not going to leave it completely up to mob mentality. Otherwise, you get bad things, right? But when it comes to things, I think there's things that kids should know, right? If you refuse to teach your kids something like maths, or if you refuse to teach your kids reading or writing and don't send them to school, then yeah, I think that is neglect. Two Planawalkin schools, kids win it. Yeah, I think that's more like, I think that in schools, like, I did misspeak there. Like, it's one of them things where you can try and have some control. And if you don't like the control, you can pull your kids out of school. That's an option that you have. Obviously, if you pull your kids out of school, be prepared for a whole lot more work of teaching your kids reading, writing, arithmetic, all that basic stuff, as well as skills that could be useful, like home economics, how to do their taxes, all that kind of stuff. You know, life skills. Oh, I I just noticed something way off topic in chat where the one sin said, but pride is my favourite sin, so I like Escanor too. Escanor is fabulous. So, Escanor is absolutely fabulous, honestly. Like, I remember seeing him and being like, oh, okay, this is... Like, when he was introduced, it was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. And then, like... It was when the sun came up that he... Yeah, would have been when the sun came up that he just, like, became absolutely buff and fabulous. But yeah, that's... But yeah, like, I think that, Plato says, seen far too many parents that can barely read. Oh, absolutely! Yeah. Well, I've seen parents... I've seen one parent that, couldn't... I don't think he could read or write. And so his son had to do, like, some things for him. And I think he might have been able to read but not write or something. I don't know. He had troubles anyway. So his son, what he did is I feel like this might have been intentional or non-intentional. I don't know, but anyway, his son made a sign for him because he was selling firewood. And he put down, like, something per cubic meter, right? Now, the way that he wrote cubic meter was C-U-M. This is not a joke. Like, this is an actual thing. Like, rather than writing cubic meter as m to the power of 3, or m cubed, he wrote it C-U-M. The most important thing, Brassman says, the most important thing parents teach kids is critical thinking skills so that they can identify false information such as flat earth and science denial. Oh yeah, like, absolutely. I think that it is... Like, I am currently not planning on having kids at this point in time. For obvious reasons as well. Like, can you imagine me being mentally mature enough to raise a kid? Like, I am not mentally mature enough to raise a kid. We have CCM for cubic centimeters. Or at least write, cubic meter. But, like, I am not... I'm definitely not... I'm not old enough to have kids. Let me put it that way. Like, I may be 24, but I don't think that's old enough for me, at least. I think when I'm 30, maybe then, and then I need to be financially secure enough to have kids. Which, again, I'm not financially secure enough, and neither am I mentally equipped to have kids. I've known people that seemed far more mentally equipped than me to have kids, and they had a complete emotional breakdown, apparently, after they had kids. Or had a kid, should I say. Trevor Heath says it's mentally challenging. I have 2 adult kids, 29 and 26, and a 14-year-old. Well, that's something that I definitely wouldn't be able to do at this. I'm not old enough to have a 29-year-old kid. Jeez, like... I think that's also rather obvious. But, like, I don't think... I think that I need to wait until I'm at least 30 to have kids, to be honest. Who knows? Maybe I will have kids one day. Maybe I'll be like, I don't know. No, maybe it'd be like Hunter Avalone one day and like have 2 kids and be happy. I think Hunter is happy with. I don't know. Become a sperm donor. I really don't get like why people are so concerned about like if I have kids one day, like if I ever have my own kids, it's probably like let's be honest, it's probably would be an accident. Like, because I don't see the need to make sure that my genes continue. You know, like people seem to have this idea that my genes need to continue. It's like, what's so special about your genes? Would your kid be called Wolfie 1505? Absolutely. That actually. What if I did name my kid Wolfie? Like, is that an actual kid's name? Trevor Heath, mine were all accidents. LOL. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like half of all kids these days are just complete accidents. Nothing wrong with accidents. Like if that's what if you're okay with an accident, then yeah, like fine. Like I was an accident. Sorry to disappoint everyone thinking that I was planned, but no, I was a complete accident. Anyway, I've got more stuff to talk about. So, what was the third thing that I... Oh! Did anyone see the Texas abortion law? Well, let me... Speaking of accidents, Texas abortion law. If you have accidents, you should be able to abort them, right? Okay. We'll bring up the New York Times, hopefully it doesn't try and lock me out of it. I hate how news sites will try and lock you out of things. Alright. People saying, nope, what happened? Alright, Texas. Let me decide to pass this thing here. Ah, oh, Jesus Christ. That didn't work out how I wanted it to. Let's try and find another article then. Oh wait, no, that's not the right one. Okay. This might be a good... This might be a good one to go to. ABC News. Okay. The Supreme Court allowing an unprecedented pre-viability abortion ban to go into effect in Texas has prompted questions on the status of Roe v. Wade, the 1973 landmark ruling that's supposed to protect the right to abortion nationally. To some experts, this marks the end of the line for the right to abortion to be federally protected, especially with an upcoming case soon to be heard by the court that directly challenges Roe. Let me see. Does this talk more about the... No, this doesn't talk as much as I wanted to. Essentially, that gives a bit of information, though, about what's going on. Okay, here's something by CNN. I know everyone hates CNN, but... Here we go, CNN. Fact check. Texas abortion law doesn't give full 6 weeks to get an abortion. Alright, here we go. Here's a little bit about it. Okay, can we, CNN, can you let me actually scroll? There we go. During a press conference Tuesday, Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott defended his state's controversial new abortion law and misleading suggests it contains protections for victims of rape or incest. So, you know, two of the people that you'd want to be able to get an abortion regardless, no protections for them. Regarding the bill, a reporter asked, why force a rape or incest victim to carry a pregnancy to term? To which Abbott responded, it doesn't require that at all, because obviously it provides at least 6 weeks for a person to be able to get an abortion. Not everybody knows that they're pregnant within 6 weeks. Right? Facts first. Abbott's response is misleading at best. The law stipulation banning abortions after 6 weeks does not necessarily mean 6 weeks from the incident or in the case of rape or incest victims. Doctors date pregnancies from the first day of the individual's last menstrual cycle from ovulation, not from ovulation or conception. As a result, under the new Texas law, those seeking abortions have less than 6 weeks to do so. Oh, interesting. I am actually somewhat skeptical about this. Is this actually true? Let me fact check this. We're fact checking the fact checkers. How are pregnancy how pregnancy's dated? Let me see. Oh, it is! No. Yeah, this is CNN. Maybe I shouldn't have doubted CNN here. First, you first determine the day of your last menstrual period. Yeah. Yeah, so that is true. Yeah, this is why I don't. This is a big reason. Yeah, this is a big reason why people may not know that they're pregnant within the first 6 weeks. So, yeah. People, obviously the lawmakers don't know shit about this stuff. So, Professor says it's up to 10 weeks then. No, I don't see what you're... The one says CNN is like the Spanish Inquisition. When you don't expect them, they are right. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard, I am generally critical of CNN mostly because of all the right-wingers that say, oh, CNN is just libtard trash and they lie. And it's like, okay, maybe I should be critical of CNN. But, they're definitely right here. I looked it up. Fact-checking CNN. Fun times. Even though CNN is definitely more... I'd trust CNN over Fox News any day. Chris Durham Music Channel says, I think depending on physical and mental health, a menstrual cycle can easily be up to 2 weeks late. Yeah. I know. Yes. Definitely. So really, it could be that by the time you know you're pregnant, you're not allowed to get an abortion. So yeah, when we say 6 weeks pregnant, that what it actually means is 6 weeks from the last menstrual period. So it doesn't actually mean the person has been pregnant for 6 weeks. Abbott attempted to caveat his comments Tuesday by highlighting that rape is a crime, though the bill has no exception for it. What a big surprise. Under SB 8, the only possible exemption is for medical emergency. Otherwise, abortion is prohibited when a fetal heartbeat is detected, though the flickering identified as a fetal heartbeat on an ultrasound at that time is really just electrical activity, and the sound is made by the ultrasound machine itself. Even at 6 weeks, doctors say an ultrasound is not detecting a functional heart. And it's worth noting that the fetal heartbeat used as an abortion in this bill often occurs before people know they are pregnant. Yeah, why? Okay, why are people so goddamn set on making a heartbeat the cutoff thing, right? It's like, oh, so when people have a heartbeat, so it's like, okay, because you have a heartbeat, you're now a fully functional human being. Like, why? That's arbitrary. You're like, the heart is not some sacred giver of life. Like, sure, if I stab you in the heart, you're gonna die. But if I stab you in the lung, you can die as well. If I stab you in the in the liver, the kidney, the gut, if I slice your leg open, you're gonna die. Right? Like, the heart is just an arbitrary thing of, oh yeah, we've decided that heartbeats are this magical giver of life that's somehow sacred. It's like, why? Why are you choosing a heartbeat as your cutoff thing? Like, it's like very arbitrary. Like, I've heard Christians say, like, I think that people should be allowed to get an abortion, but only before a heartbeat is detected. But once a heartbeat is detected, that's murder. It's like a heartbeat is like, so even though they don't have a proper brain, you're gonna say a heartbeat gives them personhood. Trevor Heath saying, I wonder how large the brain is at that equal stage. I think that's the first. I think that at the 6 weeks, that is when the heartbeat is detected. And I think that's also when neural development starts. So it's like their brain is just like the size of a flat Earth brain, like 1 neuron or something. And then I think at 10 weeks is when neural activity starts. Perhaps, Watson says, perhaps you can say when the heart beats on its own, it's distinct from the blood flow of the mother, so it's a unique body and person in conclusion. Yeah, I tend to give, when it comes to personhood, I have a more abstract sort of idea of personhood. Like, I think that personhood is more about experience. Professor says, plan a walk, baby born 21 weeks survive, so when do you think you can mince it up? When I don't get what you mean there. Are you saying that born 21 weeks before it was supposed to be born and it survived? I'm not sure what you mean there, Professor. I'm really unsure. I'm very confused I really don't know what you mean there, Professor. Like, are you saying that because a baby can be born 21 weeks early, that means that can... Oh, 21 after 21 weeks. So 21 weeks is pretty close to the minimum development age for survival. Okay, I get what you mean now. I think that it really comes down to like a few factors. Like, obviously, after a certain point, the baby, you might as well just go through the pregnancy, right? I think that abortions should probably be like, the reason why I don't like late term abortions isn't because of any moral thing. I probably can't not justify them, right? I can't really condemn them per se, but I can say that I really don't like the idea of them. It's like, yeah, I just really don't like the idea of them, unless of course it is to save their mother. Now, that being said, I think that before a certain time, like, yeah, I think that, like, definitely in the first trimester, I think that you should be allowed to get an abortion, especially when it's virtually no different from a when it's virtually no different from a miscarriage. Absolutely. What if the pregnancy was the result of a sexual assault? I think that if it's the... So when it comes to an abortion, I think that if the pregnancy is a result of a... I think that... actually, if you find out late term that fetus is not viable, I'd say you still have the... Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, that's actually one justification for it that I can definitely give. Yeah, okay, I'm going to bite the bullet on this and say that if there is something preventing you from getting an abortion in the first 2 trimesters, yeah, third term, late term abortions, I think that's okay. I think that if you in the third term, if you've been unable to get an abortion for the first 2 terms, I think that it's morally acceptable to trying to get an abortion in the third term. If you've been unable to, for whatever reason, like maybe your parents locked you up in the basement to try and prevent you from going to get an abortion, like, even though there are worse problems there, like the parents locking you up in the basement, I think that, and it's obviously an extreme example, like most people, if they get an abortion, if they're able to get an abortion in the third term, but they couldn't get in the first and second terms, there's like most people that get an abortion, or should I say, if they can't get an abortion in the first or second terms, they're not going to be able to get an abortion in the third term. But I think that if you cannot get an abortion in the first or second term for whatever reason, you should be allowed to get in the third term. I think that's okay. Yeah, I think that there's heaps of reasons that it should be allowed. I just don't like the idea of third term abortions, because it does seem like it's a risk. No, not a risk. I do seem like there would be some kind of pain thing there. I do feel like there would be pain that would be felt, right? And that's just a feeling that I have. Doesn't mean that there's no justification for it, but The only argument I have against third-term abortions is that there will probably be pain being felt. I don't have any other argument against third-term abortions, to be honest. Mass Creation Broadcast says it will scar you for life. Are you talking about third-term abortions? Because I can see how abortions. Trevor Health says it's mentally a nightmare for the parents, no matter what the cause. Generally. Also, I'd like to say that pregnancy can scar you for life. Right, getting pregnant when you don't want it can scar you for life. There's heaps of things that can scar you for life, right? So that's one. I think that people, if they want to get an abortion, they should be allowed. Especially first term, go get as many abortions as you want. Honestly, stop with this. People need to stop with this bullshit of they show there's so much propaganda against abortion. It is unbelievable. Honestly, they say, they show an abortion from third term, and then they make it seem as though that's all abortions, and it's no, it's no, it's just not. That's just not the case. Mass Creation Broadcast says I'm pro-choice, but you're something else. I might be being a bit hyperbolic here, but I get mostly mad at this idea that people try and make it seem as though abortions are something really scary. As I said, I don't like abortions in the third term. The idea is uneasy, but there are some justifications that you can give, right? Honestly, if you're going to get an abortion, get it sooner rather than later, if you can. If not, then if it's the only option, sometimes maybe it would be better to carry to term. Maybe. I'm not sure. If there is a reason that you can give for if there is a reason that you can give for not wanting to carry to term, when you're in the third trimester, maybe you've been unable to get an abortion up until the third trimester, and there's been other reasons why you want to get an abortion, I think that is justifiable. Adoption is another option. Yeah, adoption, that's why I say, when you're in the third trimester, it's probably best. It's a hard thing to say, though. Really hard. I just, as I said, the only thing that I can say is I just don't like the idea. Reticulated Spline says, pro-life people like to claim pregnancy by rape is so rare that it shouldn't factor into the laws, but late-term abortions... Oh yeah, absolutely! And Brassman says, adoption is not an option. Most children put up for adoption just end up in the care of the state. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. That's completely understandable, actually. That's why I guess people say just give it up for adoption. The whole reason why I would be for an abortion, right? Is I've always taken it from the angle of I want less suffering in the world. Right? Sometimes I think that it's okay really to get an abortion because if you have the child, like, could screw up your life. I think that's fairly reasonable. Like, if you're getting your degree and getting a kid is going to mean that you have to... Having a kid means that you're going to have to stop your degree. I think that's fairly reasonable to say, oh yeah, I want an abortion. And Gary Windbanger, that's like just not the case. Like, abortion is not literally dismembering a baby. Most of the time, abortion is just a miscarriage. A medically induced miscarriage. That's all it is. In most cases. Like, like there's so much anti-abortion propaganda that's like, if you get an abortion, they're going to stick this thing up there and rip stuff out. Like, no, that's not what it is. Like, that's like... That's what happens if you make laws to try and prevent people from getting safe abortions at I'll say abortion clinics. I don't know if that's like the actual thing. Gary Windbanger says, anyone who is prohibition... Prohibition. Anyone who is prohibition. Oh, never change, Gary. Never change. Brassman says there are many justifications. If it's not yours, the only... Absolutely. Here's my take, right? I don't like... Professor says, Gary Wimbinger, I'm really struggling here. I have done one late abortion while training and never again, just a miscarriage. Second try, you pass small bait. Yeah, that's why I like I think that we need to try and get it available for people in the first trimester. And I really don't like that. Like, when someone wants to get an abortion, like, everybody is like... John Rapp says, personally, if I got pregnant, I would not consider it. And, like, that's... Like, here's the thing. Like, if you get pregnant, right, and you don't want to get an abortion, that's up to you. It's completely up to you if you don't want to get an abortion, right? I don't think that it's... I really... Like, even though I don't like the idea of abortions in the third trimester, I'm not comfortable enough to say that you can't get one in the third trimester. Like, I'm not comfortable saying, no, you're not allowed one in the third trimester. I'm really not comfortable saying that because, like, there are many reasons why people might want to. Brassman says it's literally just a conservative hot button topic used to anger their religious base into voting for them. Yeah. Here's the thing, right? Gary, let me ask you. If you starve yourself while pregnant, and that results in a miscarriage, is that murder? That is something that is a serious question. Is that murder to you? Should that person be charged with murder? That's it. Gary's saying he just lied to all of you. Like, no, I didn't lie to anyone. I have been... Oh yeah, I know. I know that you can't get pregnant, John. Like, I thought you were saying like a hypothetical, like if you could get pregnant and you did. that is a bit of a whoosh. I did think that it was... I assume that Gary thinks that I lied by saying that most abortions are no different to a miscarriage. But Gary, like, serious question. It's a very serious question. If a woman gets pregnant, then they go and starve themselves, and then they have a miscarriage as a result of them starving themselves, should they be tried for murder? And Gary says that is what they legally do at abortion. Is that... Yeah. He says that... I think it's just chemically induced. I think when it comes to abortions at abortion clinics, it's medically induced rather than starvation induced. But like... Oh, Tim Brown says, I thought the COVID vaccines are causing anti-vaxxers need aborted. Yeah, like if like that thing was true, like I'd be like a little less apprehensive. Like it feels like, here's the thing, like needing aborted fetuses for like medical procedures and that, like it makes the medical procedure feel more wrong. Like just because I don't think anybody really likes abortions. Like it's one of the things. Emigon says, how can you prove that it was from the mother starving herself? Like, yeah, it's... That's why that's why I don't think that it is, because, like, what if it's not from the mother starving? Like, what if that thing would have happened regardless? What if it's... what if the mother can't afford food? What if there's, like, a whole lot of factors that cause it? Like, I am really uncomfortable with legislating things that stem cells do not come from fetuses. Yeah, I know. It's like one of the things where, like, if it were true, like, it'd be like one of them things which I'd, even though it makes something feel more wrong, it's like, well, no. It's just an icky feeling that I have. Like that's what a lot of this is. Like, it's just people have icky feelings. Gary says legal doesn't make right. Good grief. Did someone actually... I'm not saying that something being legal makes it right. I'm saying because... Okay, so Gary says, if they did it with the intent of killing the baby, then absolutely it's murder. Okay, so if you'd be okay with charging someone that starves himself to induce an abortion. And Professor says, first try tablet, go home. Second trimester, they're going to remove it. Third is very invasive, but still removes. Yeah. You know, like, first trimester, you just get a tablet. Gary, Google abortion methods. Like, okay, Gary, just because something makes you feel icky, right? Just because something feels icky doesn't mean that it's wrong, right? Like, right, going... Like, a lot of people would pass out if they saw open heart surgery. That doesn't... A lot of people would pass out from disgust because they saw open heart surgery. Doesn't mean that it's wrong. People, like, throwing up is not morally wrong. Throwing up is icky, alright? But it's not morally wrong. Okay, he says Google most common abortion procedure. Common. I've got one for the first trimester. Let's see. A medical abortion. Okay, a medical abortion is a way to induce abortion by. Okay, here we go. The method of abortion used depends on how far. More than 90% of abortions are done in the first 14 weeks after a woman's last menstrual period. Only one out of 10,000. Holy shit! In addition to the methods described below, there are other less common methods of abortion. All right, so medical abortion. Medical abortion is a way to induce abortion by using medication to end a pregnancy, usually within 49 days of the last menstrual period. The abortion pill is provided in a clinic or a doctor's office. The second medication will be given later to take at home. You may also be given antibiotics to be taken later. An abortion by abortion-inducing drugs does not require anesthesia or surgery. According to the American Congress of Obstetrics and Gynecology, there are different ways to take the medication. Your provider will determine which is best for you. Medical abortions end pregnancies 95 to 97% of the time because of the drugs used for the. Okay. So less than 5%. Why is my computer frozen up? Doesn't tell me how common it is, but Jesus Christ. My computer's just frozen up here. Okay. No, I still can't do anything here. Oh, this is annoying. I have too many tabs open. I'm telling you. And it just says some of the things. Gary says, it's not the dismemberment. I am, so, I have said this. I am not for abortions that are invasive. I don't like them, right? But they can be justified. But my not liking them is not an argument against them. I just don't like them. I feel more uncomfortable with legislating against them because it feels like if I were to legislate against abortions that are surgical abortions, that would lead to people that get forced to have an abortion, either because maybe they had family pressuring them to not get an abortion or something, and maybe they ended up trying to take their own life because of something. I'm not saying that it's good. I'm saying that I'm saying that it's justifiable. Gary, do you understand the difference between something being justifiable and something being good? Do you understand that? Do you understand that there's a difference there? And can you tell me what the difference is? I did not torture animals when I grew up. Like, equating throwing up to abortion is like, can you, like, Gary, seriously, can you, I don't get how you're saying, I don't get how throwing up is, like, are you like, oh, yeah, like, but like, my point with that is that because something is icky, doesn't mean that it's bad. There are plenty of things that are icky that aren't morally condemnable. You cannot condemn someone for throwing up, even though like, I think that throwing up is a perfect analogy to an abortion, right? Because throwing up, right, it's not good, right? It is actually, throwing up is far more, actually throwing up is, it's far, like, this is a really good thing for abortion, like, because throwing up is not good. Like, there is no good that can come, like, okay, there is some good, but there's only a little bit of good that can come from throwing up, right? Gary, if your wife would do anything to save the baby's life, would she adopt it? Hey, gotcha there, didn't I? If the answer is no, then your wife wouldn't do anything to save the baby's life, would she? I feel like Gary is like 20 minutes ago. I did. This is one of the things that it comes up. It didn't actually come up with, like, if I bring this up, like, most common... And also, okay, here we go. Here's one. In-clinic abortion procedure. It says that suction abortion is the most common in-clinic abortion. Yeah, where is it? Okay. Suction abortion is the most common type of in-clinic abortion, right? Is usually used until about 14 to 16 weeks. But it's in-clinic. Right, that's in-clinic, that's... Like, abortion pill, like, the abortion pill is provided in clinic, but you'll take at home, so that's not, this is in clinic. Like, that's why it's not a good thing to use, because in clinic is different to you know, taking a few pills. John Rapp says, it's almost as if the topic is too complicated to make broad statements or claims. Exactly. Like, I have said this multiple times. I do not think that abortion is good. I've never made the claim that abortion is good. I will never make that claim. Or I think that it is fairly justifiable, though. And that, like, honestly, it's like saying... Like, it is honestly like saying that I think that throwing up is justifiable. Because it is, right? That doesn't mean that throwing up is good, right? If you get drunk and throw up, it's not a good thing. And Gary says, if they're okay, why would it bother you? Why wouldn't you like it? Because it makes me feel icky, Gary. It just... Like, people throwing up makes me feel icky. I'm not going to legislate against people throwing up, though. Right, and, like, there are some things, and there are some times when it's like, okay, this person might want to get an abortion because they are poor, right? They can't afford to raise a kid. Now you can say, oh, we'll just give it to give it up for adoption, right? Yeah, that's an option. But there's still 9 months of them having to carry around the kid that they may not want, right? Just because someone gets pregnant, I don't think that means that they should be morally compelled to carry that to term. I did! It says, like, do we need to go to the next thing? It doesn't actually tell you what the most... it really doesn't tell you what the most common one is. Does this... this is we're talking about in most of them are talking about in-clinic abortions. There's a difference between... do we have to go here? This is just telling you what... it's telling you what type of... Early medical abortion is an option up to 9 weeks pregnancy. This is just telling you the options. I'm not pregnant. Yeah, I don't think that it's... here's the thing. I don't think that it's good to be clogging up the foster care system with children. I don't think that that's good. Right? So, you got 2 options there. You got A. So, there's 3 things... Okay. Right, I'm going to have a look at the testimonials of people regretting their abortions. Maybe look on Reddit. Yeah, there are going to be people that regret abortions. But then there are going to be people that regret giving birth as well, so... Okay. There are 3 options that you got here, right? That are not good. There is trying to raise a kid when you're not financially secure enough to do so. That is not good. Second is clogging up the foster care system with another child. That is not good. And you've got having an abortion. That is not good. None of these things are good. Right? But they can be justified. I prefer the one that seems to have less of a negative impact on people in general, which seems to be getting an abortion. All right. So if you get an abortion, then you are able to. Then you're not clogging up the foster care system, which again, clogging up the foster care system is not good. You are not raising a child on an income that can barely support you and the child, or that can, especially if it can barely support you. For me, if I had a child, I'd be fucked. Are you really still? Yes, because saying, right, Gary, let me walk you through this, right? Throwing up is icky. I do not like throwing up. That doesn't mean that it's wrong. Having an abortion is icky. I do not like having an abortion. That does not mean that it's wrong. Do you understand that? Can your little mind grasp that something that is icky is not wrong. I am D Fox says I'm having a tough time not say spit swallows. Fair enough. Cool Cat says not super into abortion ethically, but you can prevent abortion only safe. Can't prevent abortion only safe abortions. People are desperate and situations are complicated. Oh yeah, there's that as well. Like I am like if we like the thing is people like Gary see it as something that anybody that gets any kind of abortion, whether it be starving themselves, whether it be coat hanger abortions, whether it be legal abortions, Gary sees it as completely wrong and should be legislated against. Gary says, my grandparents took care of more than 300 unwanted babies in their lifetime. They were in their 80s when they stopped, only because my grandpa got lung cancer. Yeah, that's actually an argument for abortion. Right? Gary, you don't realize that that is an argument for abortion, right? Gary Windbanger says DE sectioning is the top method I actually use. Can you provide citations for that? That's only in, as far as I can tell, it's only in clinic. If you want to provide a citation, you're more than welcome. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But it doesn't mean that it's morally wrong. Yeah, like Tim Brown says, 860,000 abortions in the US in 2017. What would happen to the welfare system if half these babies were born each year? Yeah, like that's. How many? That means that heaps of adoptions have. Gary! If something makes me feel icky, right, it doesn't mean that it's wrong. Right? If something makes, like, just, like, Gary, that's working back from the conclusion, right? Saying that it's wrong because it makes me feel icky. You're starting with the conclusion that things that make you feel icky are wrong. Like, it's be like me saying, I have intuitive feelings about things all the time. Like, I don't know, like, I'm trying to think of like an intuitive feeling that I have. Yeah, pooping. Other people pooping makes me feel icky. That doesn't mean that it's wrong. And Cool Cat says, sometimes things can be morally wrong, but also necessarily. Justifiability and necessity doesn't have to remove the wrongness. Yeah, like there are things, obviously, I'd much rather contraception, right? I do not think that abortion should be used as a replacement for contraception. Gary says they shouldn't have to be morally compelled. It should just be a natural instinct. Why? That's an argument from nature, Gary, is not a... So Winston said nearly 14k abortions were done medically, 15k by suction cartridge, which is advised in week 12 to 13. The human... Okay. So maybe I was wrong on that. That's... But again, like, just because something was done in a particular way that makes you feel icky, that makes you feel disgust. Animals know more than humans when it comes... Of 31k abortions, only 15. Okay. As I said, like, if I'm wrong about something, I'm happy to admit that I'm wrong. Yeah, and that's another thing. Some people that oppose abortion... I'm just stating that there is no ripping apart Crawley. Oh yeah, like... So... I think this is the surgical abortion here that talks about is the suction stuff. Yeah, like, the thing is, like, if we roll back... I feel like if we roll back abortion laws... Like, okay, two things. Yeah, I was actually going to bring up, like, contraception not being covered by insurance, but I'm also going to be, like... I was also going to mention how, like, in America, like, contraception is not something that's really... Like, I can go to... actually, I do need to do this sometime soon, funnily enough. I can go to my local family planning, which is the site that we're on here. I can go here and just be like, oh yeah, I think they'll have something in products which is like condoms for like, it's like 144 condoms for $5. Okay, like, okay, I thought it was cheaper. Maybe it's just when you buy it online or something. I don't know. Like, last time I went there, it was like 144 condoms for $5. Like, Rob Park says, "Damn, did I miss the Riley portion?" Yeah. Natster Jam says, "What about the birds that abandon their babies when a nest has been visited closely by another animal?" That's a good thing. But yeah, like, Matt Bryce saying, "Can we move on?" Yeah, we can. $5 really, like $5. Yeah, like you can. I got like 144 for $5. You can get like a whole pack for free. Just depends. Just depends how many condoms you want. You know, I really need to get some. I really need to get some condoms. Oh, here's a good thing. Like, people say that gay sex is wrong because it's icky, right? Because they find it icky. Anal sex. I don't like it. Only because it sounds icky, right? I think that there are better options for sex, right? But that doesn't mean that I'm going to outlaw it or anything, you know? Some people want it, you know? This doesn't make it wrong. It maybe icky, things might be able to go wrong, doesn't mean that it's wrong, right? Sword fight. Yeah, there's heaps of, when you think about it, there's heaps of things like, as IMT Fox said, sword fight. That's just one thing that it shouldn't be icky if you do it. Brassman says both of those things are actually outlawed in some states. Yeah, unfortunately. Unfortunately, some people seem to think that because something is icky, it should be outlawed. That's why I use the vomiting example, because we can all find things that we find icky, right? And because we find them icky, we think that they're morally reprehensible. Just because, but these things, like vomiting, right? Nobody can make a moral, nobody would be able to morally say why they're wrong, right? Now, if Gary was arguing about personhood, that would be something completely different. Right? Personhood is a completely different argument. Right? And... Oh yeah, like, reticulated spline says, I find marijuana icky. I want it remaining illegal. Yeah. Actually, a good example is, like, drinking, right? Like, I find drinking to be more reprehensible than something like an abortion. Because, you know... Do I, though? Let me think. In a way, yes. In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. But, that's a nuanced conversation. I'd have to really think about it. But drinking is one of those things where if we were to outlaw, it would be bad. Can replace icky with repelling. Some things can be repelling, but necessary like... Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about China. When I can load it up. Everything's going slow. I have too many tabs. Oh, jeez. I scrolled down way too far. Jeez. Everything's going slow because I've got so many tabs open. Let me close all these tabs real quick. It's probably going to slow everything down. No, it didn't. Okay. I'm pleasantly surprised. So, I do not like what... China has done here. Because I am a rather effeminate person. Right, and, you know, like, I think that it's okay to be effeminate. You know, if you want to be effeminate, go right ahead. It's your God-given right, okay? But China has banned effeminate men from TV. What? Like, they've just been like, yeah, you know, if you're a femboy, get off TV. Like, I could be considered a femboy. Right? Oh, jeez. And basically, that's ruined my acting career. No, but, like, seriously, like, China banning... I'm just going to call them femboys because, you know, like, femboys is a much more fun way of putting it. Alright? So, Beijing, China's government banned effeminate men on TV and told broadcasters Thursday to promote revolutionary culture, broadening campaign to tighten control over business and society, and enforce official morality. Enforcing... I don't know why... I really don't get this. Like, official morality, what does it even mean? Like, it feels like, to me, that what they're saying is, this is what morality is, according to the CCP, and we're going to try and enforce it. It's like, but that's not morality. Like, morality is something that can, to me, if something is moral or immoral, you can justify why it's bad or why it's, you know, like, if something is immoral, you should be able to provide justification for it being bad. Like what we were just talking about with abortions. Like, if abortions are immoral, you need to be able to provide justification for why it's... You need to provide justification for why it is a bad thing, right? Like, some people would say, oh, smoking weed is immoral. But why is it immoral? That's what we need to talk about, is why things are immoral. Not just your feelings, not just, oh, I don't like femboys, but why is it immoral? President Xi Jinping has called for a national rejuvenation with tighter Communist Party control of business, education, culture, and religion. Companies and the public are under increasing pressure to align with its vision for a more powerful China and healthier society. The party has reduced children... Oh yeah, here's another thing. It's reduced children's access to online games and is trying to discourage what it sees as unhealthy attention to celebrities. Now, attention to celebrities can be unhealthy. I'll admit it. But I don't think that means that we should be like... I don't think that we need to, string up, bring Kim Kardashian to the gulag. No, I think that it'd be better to say, hey, look, why, to people that, seem to worship the Kardashians, be like, okay, why are you so invested in the Kardashians? Right? And sometimes they might be like, sometimes they might have a good reason. It's like, okay, have fun, I guess. But I'm not going to be like, let's take Kim Kardashian to the gulag or whatever. Onson said, China enforces the traditional family. Men work, women get pregnant. Now if a man gets too effeminate, they might get the idea that working in the fields isn't fulfilling and one party system sucks. Yeah, I don't like China, honestly. I really don't. I find that it's... China actually feels fascist. It really does feel fascist. The only... people will say, oh, China is left-wing. But when you're talking about authoritarian versus libertarian, the left-wing, right-wing dichotomy really breaks down because, you can have, fascists that, because basically China, I think it's a planned economy, or very similar to a planned economy. And so it feels like there's a rigid structure that they're trying to follow. Your role in society is determined by basically where you are when you're born. But yeah, it's... I really don't like how China's been acting. It says, broadcasters must resolutely put an end to sissy men and other abnormal aesthetics, the TV regulator said, using an insulting slang for effeminate men. Niang Pao, or literally girly guns. that okay. I don't care if this is I don't care if girly guns in China is considered a slur. It says apparently this page is slowing down stuff. Yeah, I don't care if girly guns is considered a slur. Honestly, that sounds that sounds cool. Can you imagine getting referred to as a girly gun? Seriously, that actually sounds pretty cool. Matt Bryce says femboys are hot. Well, that explains why there are people that find me hot, then. That reflects official concern that Chinese pop stars, influenced by the sleek, girlish look of some South Korean and Japanese singers and actors, are failing to encourage China's young men to be masculine enough. Isn't this, just toxic masculinity here? Because we've got an idea of masculinity. Do you next stream in cat ears? Maybe I should... I need to work out, Wait, is that... Maybe I need to do more streams like this. Just have like these on. Celebrities, great. From one icky to another. Fair enough. Let me just go to the... Yeah, like... Although... doesn't seem... It feels like it's... what I'd have to do is I'd have to, like, set up my hair to actually be, like... Because, like, these look good when I have straight hair. And I'd have to... Like, they look better when I shave as well. Do you think this is like an OnlyFans stream? Although that also looks better when I've got like makeup on as well. Like, so Neon says, I wouldn't call you a femboy. You seem more like a What's metrosexual? Metrosexual. Heterosexual urban man who enjoys shopping, fashion, and similar interests traditionally associated with women or gaming. Huh, interesting. Do I have to show you the image? Okay, like, okay, do I? I'm gonna show you the image. Like, anyone who's made it this far on the stream, like, you get to see the image. Alright. When I find it. You're not a femboy, just slightly. I'm gonna show you the image. Actually, like, I can just go to Twitter, right? I don't know where the other... There's like 2 images that I've got. Alrighty. Profile. This is gonna be... Oh, I need to make sure that I've got... Yeah, I've got this up. Alright. Here we go. There we go. That seems, I don't know, that seems pretty femboy to me, you know? And if you're not convinced by that, I'll show you the other image. And let's see if people are convinced by that. Cool Cat says, I can lend you my anime female skirt if you want to ascend. Okay, I really have to show you the other image now, don't I? Here we go. Copy link. Let's see what before I show you the other image, let's see what people say. Graymore Ghost says, oh dear God, I finally get home and turn you on just in time to see you turning into a cat. What are we gonna do with you? The one sin says, just some Insta filter and you become an idol. That is a good point. That is a fair point. Although I can't do the thing that most Instagram idols do because I don't. don't have boobs. Not right now, anyway. Try and get them. Oh, Discord is trending. Interesting. Anyway, who wants to see the other image? Are there people that still disagree with me being a... And Winston says, no, don't do... Okay, we're going to show you. Here's the other image. Yes, that is me. And when people ask why not? You know, why not? Why not do this kind of stuff? It's actually, I got so many compliments. To be fair, wearing a bra was very annoying, but it was a wire bra, so I'm making Matt feel things. Yeah, so like this is peak femboy right here, I think. Chipping in for some kitty litter. Pink. So Winston says pink is okayish for you, but please wear a decent long skirt next time. Yeah, there's one, like, this is rather annoying because, like, when you get costumes... No, I love this. Like, I've just checkmated chat. Like, everyone in chat who thought that I wasn't a femboy is like... Okay, you got a point. But the issue, like, there are a few issues. Like, the first was like that, like these leggings are like they're like a bit too short for me. Like, I am probably gonna get like some leggings that are like go. That like I can just pull up more, maybe I don't know, or maybe some long white socks. A flair for debunking won't pay anymore. Yeah, exactly. I can just be like, I can start an OnlyFans. But yeah, like one other thing, like I did need to sort of stuff a bra there because I thought, like, honestly, this looks better if you... Like, I think this would look better on me if I had boobs. Like, if I had boobs, I'd be able to sort of fill the boobs out with the part out with boobs. But I don't have boobs, unfortunately. Very unfortunate. The one since says, no one in Germany in the right mind wears this. You should debunk... Neon Cell says, you should debunk first. I have ideas for this, right? I had this, like, someone gave me an idea a long time ago, and I'm going to need to enlist the help of many people. I'm going to need a green screen. So if anyone wants to chip in to get me a green screen, very much appreciated, because I'll need a green screen. I'll probably be able to get some ring lights for this. I might actually be able to record... may have an idea. If I can get some... I might be able to get some help from someone, and... that would mean that all I need is script. I need... I'd want to get Peter and Pete for this video. That'd be great. Loki Fish Mars says, I step outside for a smoke and this happens. I miss all the fun stuff. Debunking cat... Debunking Hovland as a cat boy, that would hit hard. You see, you'll never see a dog giving birth to a cat. That just doesn't happen. I come along as a cat boy and saying, yeah. That'd be hilarious. Oh, people here give me such good ideas for videos. If I ever talk, if I ever see, if I ever debunk Hovind, and he makes it whole. Oh, so a dog will never give birth to a cat. Dogs will always remain dogs. Humans will always remain humans. I'll be like, I'll just come along. I want to get better cat ears, to be honest. I'll just be like, yeah. Like, imagine Hovind. Imagine Hovind I would pay to see Hovind react to that kind of thing, to be honest. Oh, that would be great. That kind of thing sounds hilarious. Feels weird, I don't know, not having the headphones on. But we're beyond. Your Insta is private. Yeah, I disabled it a long time ago. People are made in the face of God. Along comes Plant Yarn Walk. You just know Matt Powell will use this image to... Go right ahead, Matt Powell. Hey. Like, here's the thing. I'm not ashamed of this. I'm not. As hilarious as me dressing up like this may be, I'm not ashamed of it at all. You know, I'll show you, because like I'm not ashamed of saying, yeah, I'll dress up in a dress. Like, fuck it. Like, if it makes me feel sexy, and if people find me sexy, then hey, like, double people. I got more compliments on this by random people than I usually get. Like, I get more compliments in feminine clothing than I just realised what Graymore Ghost said when you just know Matt Powell will use this image to his advantage. Okay, I suppose like if Matt Powell is going to use this image to his advantage, he should at least, you know, subscribe to my OnlyFans, right? But yeah, like I get more compliments like just dressed like this because people seem to like it better. I don't know, like, and you know, I've never really had much of a fashion. Also says the room looks a bit messy. Not really. It's actually fairly clean. It's much cleaner than my room, to be honest. Like, this is not my room. But yeah, like, that's the nature of being born male. You don't get many compliments. Yeah. Like, when I did this here, right? I got compliments, and you need to find yourself a nice furry Mallory. I don't need to become a furry, do I? I know people that are furries. Like, it's like I don't think I know any furries in real life though. Maybe they just don't tell me that they're a furry, which is fair enough. But like, when I dressed up like this, I got compliments. I got head pats as well. Honestly, getting head pats. Oh, yeah, sir, if it looks a bit like a furry. Or the profile picture insinuates it anyway. But I got head pats. Alright, so that was fun times. And yeah, I got compliments. Next time I did the same thing, I got even more compliments from random people that I'd never met before. And it's like, okay, you know, I'll do this more often. If people give me compliments, I know that eventually someone's gonna come up and like give me shit about it. I know that's going to happen eventually, right? But for now, I've been doing well, and like I think I look good, right? And that's one thing that matters. Like if I think that I look good, that's a good thing. Matt Bryce had to say to the ones and take note of Surf's profile picture. Yeah, exactly. Have you ever? I know because I live in a fairly conservative town. I am not going to busk it. Like I'll wear like some more feminine clothing around, but like busking as a cat girl, yeah. I just had to do that. Well, not in some other. I know, like I do actually have a busking permit for a more liberal town, which I might go to and try that. It'd be a gimmick and a half. I do have a busking permit for there. So like if I go to there, I put on a dress and watch the revenue flow in. Like put on a dress and makeup and like do my hair and everything. I have like, okay, one of the things that I always find difficult is how do I do my hair, because like I hate having to put in bobby pins. I really do. Like bobby pins are awful to put in. It's not because they don't work. It's because they work really well. The unfortunate thing is that when you use bobby pins, it's very hard to actually get them in there in the first place. Like every time I've used bobby pins, I've had to get someone else to do them because I've been trying. And it's like, it just doesn't work. Keno says, I just joined and first thing I see is cat girl playing a walk. I feel like I miss. Yeah, we're talking about the whole China banning femboys, and I had to essentially. I have some. Like, give me a second. I have some snappy hair clips. Where is them? There we go. Down them. Oh, it's they almost all spilt. One of them did spill it out. But yeah. Here we go. Pete just says, what's just come back from the stream from eating, what's going on and coming out of strands, or I don't know. Like, it's just like this is just something that I like doing. Like, I do not like the gender norms. I really don't. Like, I'll give the middle finger to the gender norms. And Kitsune Cavalier says, why give the middle finger to China when you can give them cat ears? Yeah, I'll just... And so yeah, like, Planet Walk is a gender. I wouldn't say that Planet Walk is a Oh, I thought you were saying that I'm agender, like having no gender. Yeah, like these, like I do like these because they're easy to put in, but like the issue is that they don't. Sometimes it's like, okay, how do I get this right? Especially if I want to do like the part through the middle. I don't know what transitism is like that. To be fair, there's got to be some kind of Venn diagram. Probably. Yeah. I'm actually... Speaking of... like, I'm surprised I haven't been transvestigated by, like... flat earthers and that. Maybe if I... maybe what will happen is you'll have a lot of... maybe you'll have... if I, like, debunk... what's his name? Yeah, I agree. It's Kitsune. After watching... yeah, like, we all know what... Walter, we all know what Gary has gone to do, right? He's gone to find my OnlyFans. Clearly. Yeah, Hans, like, maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to debunk some conspiracies by Hans, like... maybe what I need to do is I need to do a collaboration with... I mean, what if I do a collaboration between Simon Dan, Conspiracy Cats, and myself, or something? I don't know. Like, Conspiracy Cats is rather busy, so maybe collaboration between Simon Dan, myself, and someone else. And on Hans Wormhat. Maybe that's what I need to do. And then, then I'll get... then Hans Wormhat will be like, look at this person, and like use a whole lot of slurs and stuff. And two options: either Gary went to find Planyan Walk's OnlyFans, or he changed his mind. One of the two. Yeah. Yeah, he saw this photo and thought, oh dear God, abortions need to be made legal in case this happens. Which, I mean, may not be the greatest reason for an abortion, but like, okay, like... Were you in MCToon's furry video? I haven't seen MCToon's furry video, to be honest. But yeah. But yeah, that's... I really don't like China banning this stuff. Hans is the greatest reason for an abortion. Plus, I feel like, yeah, there are a lot of people that give you good reasons for an abortion. And yeah, as Kitsune Cavalier said, abortion should be legal. As I said, like, I don't like it. Like, I think that the primary goal of, or the primary way of stopping unwanted pregnancies should be contraception, right? You can buy breasts. I know I can buy breasts online, but like, do I like want to just have? Because I know that I can get like breast forms and that to, like, if I want to fill up a bra. But do I Do I get that, or would I rather like actually having boobs? I know which one I'd prefer. Yeah, you can buy everything online. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, like, yeah, as I said, yeah, like the one thing that Gary didn't understand when he was here earlier is he didn't understand that I wasn't saying that abortion is good. Right? I just think that it's justifiable. You can buy a lot of things online. Is that what he's saying? You can buy a lot of things online. Does it mean you should? I don't know. Like, maybe like if you want to have boobs and is it time for you to sing yet? I probably won't sing. Like, I've noticed that there's been a pattern. Like, oh, my last stream got like 5. If you get boobs, you'll have to get a. Yeah, that's why. Like, there are some things that like here's the thing, right? I've heard about like what hormones do, and it's like, so apparently hormones, like, they give you breasts, right? Like, if you take estrogen, should I say, but it also changes fat distribution. I have no ass. Right? I have no ass. But like, if I got hormones, like, I'd probably get something like an ass or something. I don't know. You do notice like that with, like, I don't know if anyone has noticed, but I've certainly noticed that like fat distribution on men and women are completely different. Like, for women it tends to go to the ass, right? And for guys it tends to go to the belly. And the boobs in women, it kind of goes there, but in general. And Neon Cell says, well, yes, there are many people who give you reasons for abortions being a thing, but on the other side, without them, there would be no reason, an endless cycle. I'm not sure what you mean there. Katsuni Cavalier says, my girlfriend definitely developed an ass through hormone replacement therapy. Yeah. That's why, like, that's what, like, why, you know, if you get, like, breast forms, they're only going to change your breasts. They aren't going to give you all the other benefits. Although, like, apparently through HRT there is a slight. Now, I don't know if it's reversible or not, but apparently there is a risk of things like lowered libido and what's the other thing? And erectile dysfunction. Onson says, I hope Nathan Thompson won't find Planner's OnlyFans, or he might send DMs about his eggs. Yeah, I'll be like, this is an egg. What was it? I was going to bring up something, but I forgot. Dang, Planner Walk looking flatter than the Earth at the moment. Oh, you can wear hip padding. Well, that makes sense. Yeah. I might as well. Anyone here fancy a game of chess before I end up the stream? And maybe I'll be able to remember what, like, I was going to say, or I was going to bring up. I thought I was going to bring up something, but I can't remember. Oh, that's right. That's what I was going to bring up. I was going to bring up the. I have to show you this. And let me. Okay, Google. Let's go to details. And let's go to back to live streaming. Guys get a raw deal. What do you mean? Like with our hormones, or? We kind of do with our hormones. Like, we don't get the boobs, you know. Even though, like, guys, like, can you imagine like a guy getting like boobs? Like, I don't actually. Maybe it might be a good idea that we don't have boobs. I mean, some guys do have boobs, but like, you know, like, we don't get boobs. We don't get ass or anything. You know, or at least I don't. Maybe some guys do. Oh, in terms of fat distribution, yeah. Like, it all goes to the belly, which, honestly, all the fat going to the belly doesn't look that nice, to be honest. Okay, yeah, like, see details. Here we go. 5 copyright claims. One video. I don't know if I could get any more. Maybe I gotta try sometime for some more copyright claims. Okay. Play with a friend. I sometimes also like play. What I'll do is I'll copy the link and post it in chat, and whoever wants to join can. I sometimes play against friends. I've had like a few games where I started the game with no queen. Right, just like no. Okay. Oh, and the George said joined. Okay, cool. Hello, George. Didn't know. I didn't know that he was in chat. Like, maybe he joined just at the right time, just as I was. Yeah, but sometimes I've like played with. Let's play. Let's play this. I don't know much of the theory for this setup, so. Alright, I think we can go into the system here. And let's just bring this out. Yeah, I don't know much theory. Only theory I know here is to bring the bishop back. Pawn gets pushed here, bishop comes there. Pawn gets pushed there, and then I try and get there so I can castle. Yeah, and then pawn goes here. It's an interesting way to try and attack that bishop. We'll just. Oh, but we've got counterattacks here. Hold on. So if I go here, I can take the knight, then takes back. But it kind of closes off this. Let's do this. This is going to be the next move. Yep. Then we take the knight. Trade knight for a bishop. Sure, it has the bishop here, but I was going to. That going there would have been a bad thing. Okay. Let's attack the knight. go here. Maybe it would have been nice to push this to prevent there, but eh. That lost a knight. And we're about to get a nice open file for our we're about to get a nice open file. Here we go. Nice open file for our rook. And at this point, I can essentially... Well, I suppose that's a move. But I've got like... Yeah, now we can go there. Takes, and then I've got this complete nice open, really nice open F file for my rook. We can take there. Win another pawn. I like gobbling up all the pawns. Still got a nice, like there's just like that square that. Oh, we're winning material here. Like the only good move here would be like. Okay, that is also a move. The only. Yeah, that's I suppose is a good move. It does lose a thing, but. Okay, let's try and calculate this. I'm sure I'm like a couple moves away from checkmate here. Okay, I think I've got some kind of force mate. Let's do this. Cause yeah, I think this is checkmate. Yeah. The only move that seems to prevent checkmate is I'm not gonna spoil it. George has to. I can only see. He found the one move that prevents checkmate. Okay. Let's. Okay, so if I move there, he will take. I take back. Oh yeah, that's still checkmate. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this game is a GG. Okay, take. So any moves that can prevent checkmate here, because that bishop is stuck there. This king is stuck here. This queen moving out of the way isn't going to do anything. This. Oh yeah, that was one move that could have prevented checkmate. Anyway. checkmate. Yeah, like the one move that could have prevented checkmate was pawn to there. Would have given the king an escape. Oh, rematch offer? Okay. Oh, Queen's Gambit. Let's play this. I think it's something like there's. Wait, what is it? Because we need to prevent. I think it's there. It's the correct way to do this. Because we can prevent there by. Yeah, because we need to. Yeah, controlling these two squares. Prevent there by there. If there, then still there, because then that pawn would have to be pushed to protect there. All right. Okay. Maybe I need to learn some Traxler theory when I go up against the fried liver. Because there is not going to do anything because that's defended by the queen. But if this bishop were over here, then it also wouldn't work. Bishop would have to be maneuvered here to here, and or from here to here to here. But, you know, I can just do this. Which kind of blows a hole in that. But I can do my own. I can... You're so bad in chess that you have no idea what's going on. It's very simple, you see. Oh yeah, I could have like done there before that, before the. Let's go there. Get. This is bad for the George said. Really bad. Although there is a good move that he can do. It's okay. That was the worst move that he could have done. Check. Yeah, something like there. Oh, actually, no, I can't do there. So I'm just winning stuff. Yeah. Another bad move, but tricked by the sniper bullet. Or by the sniper bishop, should I say? Let me be okay. Unmute the tab in here. That was the worst move he could have done, LMAO. I mean, when you lose your queen... here's the thing. Like, queen for a... I'd much rather lose a... Take towards the center, and we've got some nice stuff on the thing. Yeah, like it's much better to lose a Oh, we can open up the field a bit. It's nice. Can checkmate next turn, maybe. Will George blunder one, mate in one? Okay, okay. Will mate in one be blundered? That's my question. Okay, I'm guessing there and then there. We can go here though. You're glad you didn't join, you haven't played chess in years. You're worried that I'm going to be like thinking like 20 moves ahead. I'm guessing something like here. Okay, checkmate. You blundered mate in one. I saw that mate coming from like ages ago. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm eventually going to have to take that pawn. I'll play a game with you maybe after stream. I'm gonna end up the stream now. I'm gonna play a song which, like, I've kind of shown on the stream a bit today, but not a whole lot. But anyway, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you like this stream. Leave comments letting me know what you think. Don't forget that if you want to support me, there's always super chat. Well, support me financially. I mean, like, supporting. Like, if you just want to support me, you can just like leave nice comments, leave nice. Leave dislike, subscribe, all that good stuff. Watch all my videos. That's a good way to supporting me. But if you want to explicitly support me financially, there's always super chats or Patreon, and it'd be really nice to be able to get enough Patreon money to buy something like a green screen, or like I'd like to do some interesting stuff with my channel eventually, but I need to get enough funds to do those things. I actually recently, from help of one of my patrons, got, I don't know if I should mention the name. Oh, if they're watching, they can say, oh yeah, I'd like to be known. But they got me Reaper, which is going to mean that we've got some good things coming on the way. I've shown a little bit of it to some people, but what I've got coming there to some people, but yeah. But anyway, I will see everyone, hopefully, in the next video. Between you and me, thank you for watching. Where's the... There we go. Let's do this again. God damn it. I'll get it. What? I'll get it. Off tempo. There we go. Love that song. If you haven't heard it already, I recommend looking up Better Than the Alternative. Great song. Anyway, take care.